My twin disowned me for being a cam girl because it is the work of the evil. Now she's begging for my sinful money to help pay for her child's bill. I am estranged from my twin because she objects to my working as a cam girl, and even though I have never done anything inappropriate around her kids because of my job, citing I'd be a bad influence even though I would have completely kept my mouth shut about my job. It hurt that I was denied a relationship with my nibblings, but there was nothing I could do. Part of her decisions was because of the local church she is with. They told her that she should not allow me to be in their lives because what I am doing is evil. Anyway, she's a single mom. The youngest has cancer. His father is not in the picture, although he pays child support. It's very little because he doesn't make much, and the bills have gone through the roof. Now her landlord is threatening to begin the eviction process as she's very behind on her rent and other bills. She contacted me after not speaking to me for years and begged me to borrow money. I said, you do realize this money would come from my camming job, right? The one you estranged with me over and wouldn't let me have a relationship with your kids. She said, I know, and I don't need this right now, desperate and need help. He's your nephew. Our parents are living on Social Security and cannot afford to financially help, but they do babysit the two older ones frequently. My husband and I do well financially, so we could afford it. I told her, you disowned me as your sister, and since you're not my sister, he can't be my nephew. Disowning your family is a permanent decision, and I wouldn't want you having money from a sinful source, as you put it. Update: we are fraternal twins, not identical. While we bear some resemblance, much like how someone resembles an aunt/uncle, cousin, parents, or sibling who's not a twin, to each other we are very easily able to be told apart from one another. Update: 2 days later, after careful thought and consideration, I have decided to pay the medical bills and rent as a gift with no expectation of repayment, directly to the hospital and landlord, but because I do have a petty side, just being honest, and didn't want my sister getting away with her behavior, I made a post on her church's Facebook group and attached screenshots of texts disowning me years ago. I saved them, because of my work, and screenshots of her wanting money from my work now that she's in this situation. Hi everyone, I am, hypocrites, former sister, she disowned me. You may or may not have heard about me. I was exiled from my sister's and her kids' lives for being a cam girl despite never having breathed a word about my work around her kids nor behaved inappropriately in any way. After careful thought and consideration due to the way I've been treated and how my sister feels about my sinful money but then wanting to borrow it for her son's health bills and rent, I've decided to give it as a gift without any expectation of repayment. Even a wicked woman like myself did not wish to see an innocent child suffer when I could do something to help. But being that my sister is so repulsed by where my money comes from, I'm giving you all the opportunity to save her from having to use dirty money. You may DM me for my Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle information to repay the bills I gifted. While I am not expecting this to happen as I can afford what I gave, I just think you should all have the opportunity to put your money where your mouths are, and to perhaps be welcoming to those in the adult industry in your church, and no, not making it conditional upon them quitting. You sin just as they do. Their sins are just more visible. Without my job, the financial assistance would not have been possible, as I assume I was her last resort, as none of you righteous folks were in a position to help. That being said, I guess someone had to volunteer to sin, and that volunteer was me. Without nerd owls like myself, your righteousness would not be sustainable, as the undesirables are doing the dirty work for you so you don't have to. Jesus was kind to intimacy workers. He welcomed them with open arms unconditionally and preferred their and others considered undesirable company to the pious/righteous religious folks and leaders. He even told a priest that prostitutes would go to heaven ahead of him. Check out Matthew 21:31. Your church likely did not teach you about that quote, and now you know. You're welcome. Sincerely, the loose wayward woman. Update Part 2. Whoever runs the Facebook page took down my post and blocked me from posting, although I can still see the page, so it's just a ban from posting. No one had the balls to say anything to my face, hypocrites.